right, everybody, it's Mike again. So a lot of people that we do work for, their biggest question is really the process of how to get going on building a house. A large project is what I should say, not a roof. This would entail basement all the way up to the finished product. So what I'm going to try to do, or attempt to do here, is we kind of missed the preliminary meetings that we had with this client, but I am on my way right now. Let me roll that window up. I'm on my way right now to meet this client that we're getting ready to build a house for. So this project, we're going to try to document from start to finish the steps that it would take for a homeowner to get going with building a house. I'm trying to think of the right words there, because obviously step one is getting a blueprint figured out. The best thing that I can say starting off would be scour the internet, find something close. That's going to be your biggest first step. And then at that point, take that and meet with, like us, my wife does a lot of our design stuff, probably has for the last 3 years. So it kind of works really well for us because my clients can go straight to her. Over the course of a month or two, they can work out all the details. But it definitely helps to have that initial print to go off of, that you can figure out, you know, I like this bathroom, but I really don't like the size of the bedroom that we have there. Get that? But she can basically get a 3D drawing for the inside, outside. I mean, we've had it to where she gets the details down to the pictures on the walls when you walk through the 3D version of the house and the homeowner's pictures are on the walls. You know, it's down to that kind of detail. And I will tell you, that little bit of detail, the more detail you can get, the closer you can get with numbers on a house. When you're doing bids, bids are a nightmare. During COVID, absolute nightmare. It's kind of better right now, but things still change and time frames change. Honestly, time frames are still kind of like 1 minute stuff's easy to get, the next minute it's 4 weeks out. Is what it is. We try to plan best we can. But back to kind of what I was at. I'm on my way to meet this client. We're going to the job site. We're going to get a feel for what they need to do because they have an excavator coming out, I would say in the next week or two, to get just some general driveway graded and then the site cleared, because we're approximately 4 weeks from breaking ground on this house. So it's going to be a crawl space, not a basement. It's going to be more of a barn dominium style house. This one's actually a small house, probably the smallest house we've built, I'm going to go with. But this is a beginning house for them. Their plan is in 2 to 3 years to build the house of their dreams, is what I'd call it. I've seen pictures of it. It's a very nice house. The one that they're planning to do, the one they're doing now is a nice house, but it's going to be very basic, something to get them through the next 2 or 3 years. I'm sure to save some money, but this is basically what I would call step 2 or 3 in the whole process. Step 1 would be find your building print. Step 2 would meet with a builder like myself or the designer to get all the details hashed out. Get the numbers hashed out, all in that whole area. And then now we're at the point where we're going to the job site, figuring out where the house is going to go, you know. and I'll catch you out there. It's pretty windy today, but I was gonna fly the drone over, but I flew it the other day at the house, and it was half as windy as it is now, and we about picked it up in Texas. So I'll catch you out there. Stick with me. All right. So here's the job site. Basically, the house is going right there. There was a big knob of dirt right there. He's taking off and he's leveling off this house site. I just met with the homeowners. I didn't bring the camera because I hadn't really talked to them about if they were okay with videoing and stuff.
1985.
Whoa. But we're in deer country here. A lot of deer tracks, a lot of deer sign. But basically what we did here, so I just got done meeting them. So the big thing that we were verifying, and I added a video clip in there of the site, and we'll come back out when it's not so windy, because I've got a drone that I want to go up and video the top side, looking down at the build site. But like I said, I have not talked to them about the camera situation. I didn't want to make everybody uncomfortable. Everybody wants a camera in their face. But basically, we went over some of the specifics. They need to get hold of the power company and the water company. Normally as a contractor, I could do that, but they would have to give me all their information, some personal information, financial information to set their accounts up. It's just easier for the homeowner to do that stuff. So they need to do that. That way we can get temporary power out there. I mean, we're really not that far. I mean, honestly, if it, as dry as it's been and as dry as that site is, I mean, honestly, next week would be awesome to get in there to start doing some concrete work. But I know we do have some rain coming in this week. I'm realistically 4 weeks out from starting this. So no need to jump the gun. We're just getting the preliminary stuff ready. That way when we get there to the job site, questions have been answered, and power's there, water's there in case you need it. And these are just the little things that you need to be aware of when you go into building a house that makes everything smoother. You already know what you need to do, and you got it done. So anywho, that's a little short information there on this next step that we're on right now with building a house. So if you got any questions on this, feel free to drop a question in there in the comments. Like and subscribe this. Check some of our other videos. We got a series going on raising the roof on a house right now. We're going to start another series on this particular house, building this one. And we got a lot of stuff coming up that we'd like to share and just break down the process throughout it. I think there's a lot of people where I stand with owning a business. What I'm seeing is there is such a shortage of workers that it's going to get to a point where homeowners are going to want to know how to do this stuff, or going to need to know how to do some of this stuff. And that's part of my thinking here as well. I'm not trying to give my work away to the homeowner. We stay plenty busy, but there's a lot of stuff. I say it to my guys all the time. There's always plenty of work to had for people doing even handyman stuff. All right, back again. So I know in the last couple videos we've kind of hinted around about a new project moving forward. So we have a house that I'm Just got done meeting the electric guy, the electric company. We're trying to figure out the best place to bring the power into the house. So this is one of the, as I spoke before, we're going to try to do I say step-by-step process of building a house, but like I hate to say step one this, step two that, because there are so many steps in it, and sometimes you're going backwards, forwards. Like right now we're trying to get power out here. That's one of the first steps outside of finding your property and getting your house designed. Once you get the property prepped, it's time to start getting some utilities out here so people like us, the builder, can start the construction process, which we will be doing here in about a week, 2 weeks. We'll start doing some concrete work, getting it in there. The excavator is done. I'm gonna walk up here. It's windy, so prepare. I'm gonna show you the build site. I did a drone shot of it just to get a aerial point of view. All right, so here is our build site. I do believe that roughly this is where the driveway is, or gonna be. We're gonna do a lot of the concrete work without bringing rock in, just because it does save rock if you can do that. And right now we are dry, really dry. For this time of year, we wouldn't even be considering on a normal year to come in without a driveway packed in. But this one is not a big house. Honestly, this is probably one of the smallest ones we've built, but this is gonna be a stepping stone, I'll call it that. This is gonna be a place for them to live for a year or two. And then over on that hill, the big one goes up over there. Yeah, so this is just gonna be something for them to live in, stash away some money. I'm assuming that's not what they've told me. I mean, I think they just want to get maybe a little more saved, get a little more idea on the design. Excavator's been in here, pushed a lot of brush. Last time I was here, this was all grown up all the way around. Cleaned it up, and now it's pretty much build site ready. Power, we met the power company, or I met the power guy today. That transformer there will be coming off of that with the electric. Sorry about the wind, sure it's, but this is kind of the prep work that's involved in building a house, what I would call from scratch. Some build sites don't require a lot of work, but in this particular situation, they built in a pretty grown up area. Had to do a lot of clearing off. And then we'll end up bringing the road in after we get the foundation work in. And we'll video that, obviously, but we'll document all that. We'll document the whole process step by step as we build. So that now that I'm in the warm confines of the truck and it's not windy, I'm gonna kind of break down the first couple really key ingredients in when you and your spouse want to build a house. You want to build a house from scratch. One of the very first things is obviously ground, having the ground to build it on. Some people buy, some people inherit. The big thing is, in my personal opinion, and this is after years of building and having my wife as a designer, the ground is more important than the house at first. Find the piece of ground that you really like. And then what we try to do then during the design process is cater that house to fit the land, if that makes sense. A lot of the times people will have a house plan and they're just finding it. They're like, this is the house, and maybe they like it, but what we try to do with Blue Cottage Homes and Design is we try to cater the project to the person's needs, the property needs, the way the property lays, window location with the property, door location, the way the house sits compared to the sun, or if you have a pond. I know there's some very vague ideas of how, a lot of very generalized ideas of how people will do that. But we do, my wife, I'll give her the credit here because she's the one who pays a ton of attention to detail on the design side of it, which makes my job easier. I will be very honest, we did a lot of houses early on in our career that did not involve a designer or a really good architectural plan. And I will tell you, in my experience, having a design with all the little details as much as you can is a much safer route to go for everybody. So basically, back to what I was saying though, was the print is the key cog to everything. Clearly, everybody knows that. You gotta have a blueprint to go off and build the house. But a lot of people try to get by with as little detail as possible, or think they can, we can do this. And you could, but it's the little detail that makes the house special to every client of ours. Like I said, just in homes that we've lived in that she's designed, we've always tried to make sure the window locations over the prettiest parts of the property are in those spots. Like right now, we live by a pond, and our house is situated in a way to utilize as much of that view from the house side as we possibly can. So I say that all to say the first few steps of the house side of it, of building a house, are clearly your property and your design of your house. That's the first two steps, that if you're gonna go do something and you're gonna get going on it, that's the direction you need to go. The other stuff will start falling in place as the process starts once you get a builder. Not all builders do it the same, and not all builders help the same. I'm very one-on-one with a lot of my clients, and the communication is huge. You want very good communication between you and a homeowner or a client. There's a lot of times that there's things they want, and sometimes forget to say it, but the more you talk, the more likely that stuff's going to come out during the process, and you're going to catch that. So this project is obviously not necessarily in infancy, but we're 2-3 weeks out from starting to see structure. But I'm doing this now so that you know how these steps all play into the time frame. So we're going to keep you updated on this one. I'm actually back to the raise the roof renovation right now, and yeah. All right, so without any further ado, like and subscribe to the channel, Blue Cottage Homes and Design. We got a lot of neat projects coming up that are going to be similar to the raising the roof one. We're not demoing a whole house, but we've walked through the design process with these clients, and I mean, I know there's for sure one or two coming up that are going to have a major change on their house, like what we're doing right now. Our next big project though is this house, and it's going to be new construction, pretty straightforward. But we're going to try to break it down step by step: concrete footings, concrete floor, building walls, each step. And we'll even throw a clip in. I want to throw a clip in of the guy laying the block. I probably would have sat there and videoed the excavator, but not real sure he would have cared either for the camera. He's a quiet fella. So anyways, like and subscribe, comment down below if you got any questions, if you want certain things added to the content. All right, man, see ya.